Our utility company just raised our supply rate by 50% for the entire summer. But we're really working on keeping this part of our budget under control. We'll tell you what our plan is and what's working. The first thing we looked at was our thermostat. What most people don't realize is that for every degree that you raise your thermostat, statistically, you'll save between 1 and 3% on your next bill. We found it to be kind of that sweet spot right in between 1 and 3%. About 2% is what we've noticed for every degree that we raise our thermostat. We want to know in the comments, what do you have your thermostat set on this summer? I was in the car last week with my 84-year-old mother. I said, Mom, my thermostat is set at 79 degrees when I turn my AC on. What is yours set at? And she said, 80 degrees. Beat that. Well, when your 84-year-old mother presents you with a challenge, what do? Well, you step up, of course. So our thermostat right now is set at 82 degrees.
What? No.
No. Just no.
It is really getting uncomfortable in this room. So I don't know whether it will stay at 82 degrees or not. But let me tell you about kind of the stair-step approach that we suggest when people think, I gotta save on this bill. Raising the thermostat makes the most sense. Let me try that first. One of the things that we do every year is we set a goal date for turning on the AC. We try really hard to keep that AC off until July 1st, and we turn that air conditioning off on August 31st. Now, those are goal dates. They're a little bit flexible because it does depend a little bit on the temperature and the humidity. So our secondary thing that we look at is, has it been 90 degrees? If it's 90 degrees for more than 48 hours in a row, then we consider turning on the AC. And finally, in the state of Illinois, it is that humidity, guys. Once the humidity starts to go up, it feels sticky and it feels like you're literally just sitting in a pool of water when the humidity goes up. But you have to balance all three of those things. And let me give you a really good example of why this works so well. Our HVAC person was over last Monday, and he had us turn the AC on for an hour so he could test the system, and then he had to add some coolant. We sat next to the register going, this feels so good. And it wasn't even 90 degrees out at that point. It was like 80 degrees outside. And it really felt instantaneously better once the humidity started going out of the house. Well, after he finished testing everything and put the coolant in and left, I said, Larry, we've got to turn this back off, because it wasn't anywhere near 90 degrees. It wasn't hitting enough of our benchmarks for us to say, yeah, we're going to turn the AC on and leave the AC on. But if you don't have those benchmarks in mind, believe me, the minute that you start to feel uncomfortable, you're going to turn that AC on. And let me show you why that's detrimental to your bill. I took a screenshot of all the information that our utility company gives us about our energy use. You see that spike, that really high spike that is like double our normal energy usage? That's when the air conditioning was on.
I'm a real fan of this next tip. When you're sitting in a room and you have it warmer because your air conditioning now has been turned up, put a fan right in front of you. Now, this is a personal fan. It runs on a battery. It's rechargeable, and this will run for several days on a charge. We bought 2 of these from Amazon, so we have a set of 2 of those. One of them Hope uses and one of them I use. We've really found this to be very nice. Another feature of the fan is it has a built-in light on it, so it also can be used for reading in case your room is dark. The other fan that we have is a little bit bigger, and this one lasts even longer. The company sent this one to us as a free sample, and we really like it. It puts out a lot of air, and this light is very bright. And once again, with the big battery down here, it'll run for about a week without having to charge it up.
Here's why fans are so important to our plan, because you need to think in terms of cooling the zone where you are sitting.
Right.
For instance, we're sitting upstairs right now in our living room. We've been hanging out a lot the past week or two downstairs in our basement, because our basement is at least 15 degrees cooler than our upstairs is. Sit in the room that is the coolest, in the area that is the coolest. Using fans, statistically, you can raise your AC by up to 4 degrees with no loss of comfort. Fans work on evaporation. It evaporates the natural moisture off of your body and it causes you to feel cooler. And that's one of the reasons why if you're not sitting in a room, there's no reason to have a fan going, because the fan is designed to cool a person, not to cool off furniture or the ambient temperature that is already in the room. Fans really come in handy when you're trying to sleep at night. And so we had both of our boys pick a fan from our supply closet. He's so excited by his fan choice.
One of the things that I would recommend is that you stay hydrated. With these nice water bottles, you can put ice in them and keep the water cool. And cool water will help you keep the internal body temperature down, making the room that you're in more comfortable.
We're really doubling down on something that we started like a few months ago. It has had an incredible impact on our ability to control our energy usage and thus our energy bill. And I'll be honest with you, it was incredibly surprising to us that it had that kind of an impact. We're using what we call our energy diary. I realized that part of the problem with the energy bill was the fact that we weren't tracking at all either how we were using the energy, when we were using it, how long we were using it, how many watts that particular item that we were using, how much it used. We weren't tracking any of that. So it became really difficult to lower the bill because we were completely unaware of our own habits. This fixed that problem. We put it right next to the microwave in the kitchen, because usually if we're going to turn on something in the kitchen, it seems like it's an appliance of some kind, right? And we just simply wrote the date, the time, what appliance we used, and how long we used it for. Now, if we could track that appliance, the usage with a kilowatt meter, which is a very simple instrument that we have recommended countless times on this channel, it gives you a really good idea of how much energy each item in your house is using. By gathering all of that information and then making sure that we were comparing that information to the information that utility company gives us. And I'll show you exactly what the utility company shows us in just a second. Not every utility company gives the degree of information that our utility company does, but we were able to look at our exact usage from the utility company, compare it to this energy diary, and we could tell exactly for each spike. We could tell that's what we were doing. Oh, we were making a pot of coffee. Oh, we turned on the dehumidifier. Oh, we turned on the AC. This is what we did that resulted in that kind of spike in our energy usage. By becoming aware of our usage, we were far more able to control it. The things that we're showing you on this video really do work. And don't forget to stick with us. We did get our energy bill a couple of days ago, and we'll show you exactly how much we were able to lower our energy use compared to exactly a year ago. We took all of these tips and we've done extensive research into utility bills and how to lower them. We put it all together in our home energy savings bundle. You get 7 resources right now. I threw 2 extra resources on right now because I really felt like you needed to know how to evaluate whether you were ready for something like a lack of energy completely, where you have a blackout type situation. And I did that because I put information on our Facebook and our Instagram account, and I just asked, how many of you have energy bills this summer that are really going up? And one of our viewers from Australia said, yeah, not only that, but in Australia, they have rolling blackouts. They're planned rolling blackouts, but they do it to control the amount that is being used on their grid. And I thought, what a great idea to throw an extra resource into the bundle right now so that you can evaluate what you need for backup energy in case of a blackout. Now, this special bundle with 7 resources is available right now, the Home Energy Savings Bundle. I'll make sure that there's a link in the description of the video.
Our utility company allows for some very detailed information that we can look at on our energy usage. One of the things that it gives us is real-time usage. So we can take a look on their internet site, and a day later we can look at yesterday's usage, and we can tell hour by hour, even down to the quarter hour, of exactly what we were doing all day long. This helps us to track exactly what items that we had on that are using the most power and regulate those accordingly.
cooking. Cooking uses not only energy, but it also heats your house up. Come on outdoors, guys. We're going to show you our very cool homemade solar cooker. Larry made this probably 12 years ago with 2 of our boys. It was a 4-H project. Won awards, went to the state level. All right, he's going to explain to you exactly how it works.
Basically, I bought one large board and cut it up into small matching pieces so we could form a cabinet around it with this lid. This is also a wooden top lid. Then we got a mirror from a glass company, had them cut it to the exact size, and I glued it onto the top here. This is special glass on here. It looks like our knobs come off. This is heat resistant glass that we put on top. There's aluminum sides that allows for that light to really get on this black container in here that we put our items in to actually cook. It'll cook at right around 200 degrees, so it's basically like a slow cooker, and we've been running this all day. Hope, what do you got cooking in here?
There are beets. There are cut up beets. So we use this long screw to regulate the angle of that mirror.
This allows you to tilt it at different degrees by screwing these bolts in. And then when I want to take it all the way off, I take the top bolt off, remove that out, and then the lid closes like that for storage.
We did put handles on it. I think the one thing that I wish that we had done, I wish that we had put it up on little wheels because it is kind of heavy to move. But Larry's right. It'll cook in direct sunlight. It'll cook at between 200, 250 degrees. Takes a little while for things to get done, but it is something that we're able to use in order to save on energy. So here's what it looks like with the lid off, with that glass shield removed.
And there are the beets. They are completely done. This fork goes right through them. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So these are done, and we didn't have to heat up the house in order to cook those.
You notice we also have, so there's the aluminum flash, and you can see a little bit better.
Yeah.
There's a black tray underneath.
And
you want the aluminum on the sides. There we have a temperature gauge in there so we can tell exactly how hot it gets.
Yeah.
You want the aluminum on the sides because you want it to be able to reflect as much as possible, but you want black on the bottom because black is going to absorb heat. That black tray on the bottom is a tray that came out of a really old toaster oven that we had.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened to the toaster oven, but the tray that was in it still lives. We're going to show you a couple of other different ideas we have for cooking that will also save on energy for you too. Here's another thing that we're trying. This is a thermal cooking pot. A while back, I asked if you guys wanted me to try one out. I ordered one from Amazon. You can see I haven't even opened it. It just came in the mail. Let's do an unboxing, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so it comes with on the road
Nice.
or at home thermal cooker. All right. It's pretty. It looks very pretty. Looks nice and new. I'm gonna revel in that because once I start using it, it probably won't look this good after I start using it. Observe it while it's clean and shiny.
Open the lid up.
Oh, that's so cool. Look at this.
Wow.
Oh, guys, it looks like it's designed to stack the food, maybe? All right, hang on. I'm still unwrapping. So it's double-walled insulation. It looks to me like it's got a larger pot, and then I think maybe you can put like rice or something in the smaller pot, like a side dish, and cook it. So what the whole idea is, you heat the item up on the stove for about 10 minutes. Basically, you get the cooking action going. It's got to be at a boil. You put it in here, close the lid, don't open it for between 4 and 8 hours, maybe 6 and 8 hours. I haven't read the instructions yet, guys. You leave it in there a long time, kind of like you would for a slow cooker. You don't open it up, and when you wait that long, you open it up and it's all done. I'll do a demonstration. I'll do a video for you. But zero energy used for this.
We're also line drying our laundry today to save a little on the utilities of our dryer.
Now, when it comes to cooking, Here's something else that we really recommend that people don't generally think of. Take your pressure cooker or take your slow cooker, take it outside. We've got a back patio, we've got a front porch. Take it somewhere where it is not going to heat up the interior of your home, because the minute that interior temperature goes up, then what's going to happen? Your AC, if it's on, is going to kick on, and it's going to cycle a lot more often than it would than if you were using outdoors in order to do your cooking. We run our pressure cooker or our slow cooker, and we run them using portable power stations. Let me show you how Larry's using some solar panels to charge those up.
One of the other things we like to do while the sun's out nice and bright, we have solar panels over here. There's actually 2 of these. This is a 200-watt panel. So we have this plugged into our newest Opus. This is an Exodus 2400 unit. The company sent this for us to do an evaluation on, and I'm going to be working on a review for that this weekend. Watch for the video on this on July the 8th. Opus is doing an amazing job on Amazon Prime of giving really good deals on their products. So this will be offered at a very reduced price.
Okay guys, thermostat, 82 degrees, the AC just kicked on. When you set your thermostat, get a programmable thermostat. Get the app on your phone if you can. I can control our AC from anywhere that we are. It is so easy to do it using the app on the phone. One of the things we realized when we started dialoguing about how we were going to cook without using energy was that we really needed to make a list. So we made a list of not only all of the different appliances, the different ways that we had that we could cook without using electricity. We also realized that we needed to create a weekly menu plan. So the menu plan is over here, but you'll notice all the way over at the right-hand side, I have a list of all the cooking methods that I'm using to create those meals. What that allowed me to do was really strategize cooking what we wanted to eat without using any extra energy. One of the things, and this is a step that I think people miss, and this is not just a step that you need to take when you're trying to lower your energy bills. This is a step that you need to take when you are trying to lower any area of your budget. You need to figure out what steps you're willing to take. That's the planning part. You need to implement it for at least 30 days. Then you need to evaluate what's working, what's not, what are you going to keep, what are you going to throw out, what are you going to add for the next 30 days. We call it our PIE method. Plan, implement, evaluate. Keep doing that over and over and over again every 30 days, and you will save money on your budget.
One of the things that we like to do as far as lighting goes is supplement these 110 volt bulbs with these nice little LED bulbs. These are LED bulbs that work off of a USB drive. So they're only about 5.5 volts a piece. These run through a line that goes all the way down to this power station over here. So this allows us to get the lighting off the grid. Another good way is a hybrid light. This is from Hybrid Light out of Utah. Such a good company. It has a solar panel on top that can be charged in your window. We leave it in our window and it stays charged, so it is always ready to go. And it comes on at different lighting degrees. The other hybrid light that we use is the Mammoth light, and it is really, really bright as well. It has a big light here and then a small light you can use as a flashlight, and you can aim it around and use it as a reading light. And once again, it comes with a solar panel. So these are both from the company called Hybrid Light.
Guys, those hybrid lights, I think we have 3 of them. We liked them so much. We purchased the first one. This is the first one that we purchased. We liked it so much, we purchased 2 more of them. We've got that one plus another flashlight, I think. Small, family-owned company, fantastic customer service. We absolutely love them. And this light, it sits in our really deep windowsill down here in the basement, and it charges all day long, just sitting in the windowsill. We never ever have to take it outside to charge it up.
Never.
Phantom power, we've talked about it before. This is our television setup. You'll see a very cool fan. We have fans in the basement too. This is all hooked up over here in the corner on a power strip. Anything you can put in a power strip, put it on a power strip. And when you're not using it, unplug it. Because you know what? Otherwise, you'll be using phantom power. We have retreated to our basement kitchen. It is so much cooler down here than it is upstairs. What you really want to know is we've been telling you to do these things. How has it been working for us? We have been instituting most of these tips for the past 15, 20 days or so. We just got our bill a couple of days ago. This bill that we got ran from mid-May to mid-June. So the rate hike, that 50% rate hike, happened on June 1st. The bill that we have represents the amount of power that we saved, but we didn't save as much as we had really hoped that we would. What did the numbers look like? We compared mid-May to mid-June's bill of 2024 to the mid-May to mid-June bill of 2025. Are you ready? 130 kilowatt hours less.
All right.
In the last 30 days than we did exactly a year ago. Now, that's not a completely fair comparison because some of these things that we're instituting, we've done some other things in the last 365 days in order to cut back on our energy usage. But certainly, it does show that we've used significantly less energy this time around. How much did we save? Our bill was $20 less. So it wasn't as dramatic of a decrease in the bill as we really had hoped for. What it does show us, though, is that moving forward, if we want to continue to spend less on this summer's bills than we did last summer's bills, we are going to have to double down on all of these strategies that we just showed you. One of the things we mentioned earlier in the video was that I put a post on our Instagram and our Facebook accounts. And if you don't follow us, you should follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We heard from a viewer in Australia that said Australia has rolling blackouts during the summer. There are planned rolling blackouts and they're only supposed to last between 30 and 45 minutes. And theoretically, they're going to know when their area is going to experience a blackout. But it made me realize figuring out what you do immediately when you lose power during the middle of the summer in order to stay comfortable and in order to keep the things that are important to you going, like your refrigerator and your freezer. That is really important. We did a video on it a while back and we talked about low-cost solutions for summertime blackouts. The video is right over there, guys.